All right, team, welcome back to another episode on the Weight Loss for Women 40 Plus podcast with Josh. And today we're talking about maintaining weight. So remember, there are three distinct phases of any weight loss journey. There is the fat loss phase, which is losing the majority of the weight. So that's the kilos. There is the toning phase, which could be said to be kind of the last 2, 3, 4 kilos. And then there is the maintenance phase. Maintenance is probably the one that I see that's failed the most. And how do you know if you're failing maintenance? Well, very simply, you put the weight fucking back on. So there's no other way around it. Maintenance is keeping the weight off. And how you keep the weight off isn't the same way that you lost the weight. Remember, to be losing weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. To maintain your weight, you are not in a calorie deficit because the nature of maintenance means you are maintaining the energy balance. Let's say you burn 2,000 calories, you eat 2,000 calories, you will maintain your weight. And the biggest mistake I see people make before they start working with us is that they never do a maintenance phase. And they don't really understand that it even exists. So if you're learning about maintenance for the first time today, I honestly don't blame you because most programs and gyms and challenges want you to come back. And they want you to continuously keep doing the challenges, the 4-week challenge, the 6-week challenge, the 8-week challenge, whatever it is. Challenges aren't bad, but I find they're really good at teaching people terrible habits. How to restrict for a short amount of time. Because if we really break down human behavior, humans can do anything, really. Let me give you an example. You could probably do some things for a certain amount of time, but maybe not a long amount of time, so a short amount of time. So let's say I was going to say to do something restrictive. All right, I want you to cut out your carbs. I don't want you to eat any carbs for the next 2 days. You'd be like, oh, well, I could do it for 2 days, 48 hours. Of course I could do that. I'm like, okay, great. You hit the 2 days. Now I want you to do it for another 7 days. You'd be like, so this is pretty much keto, cutting out carbs. You'd be like, ooh, 7 days. I could probably do 7 days. Now, what tends to happen is now you're doing 7 days, you're actually starting to change your lifestyle. You're like, okay, if I'm going to cut out the carbs this week, I'm probably going to eat different from the family. I'm probably not going to socialize on the weekend. I'm going to have to say no to a couple of events. So now we're starting to walk down the path of failure. You're changing your life to lose weight, doing it in a restrictive way. All right, you did a week. You're like, oof, that was tough. Now I want you to do it for the next month. Okay, a month, cutting carbs. Oof, how am I going to do this? And this is the journey that most people go on when they're doing a diet. They're doing keto, no carbs. They're doing vegan, going vegetarian. They're fasting. They're doing an 800 calorie diet. They're doing HCG diet. They're doing Atkins, paleo. What tends to happen is most people can only do a diet for a certain amount of time because it is just too jarring. It is too far from the norm. If your normal daily routine consists of eating carbs or having carbs with your family and you take that away from someone, honestly, how long do you think they're going to be able to keep that up for? So this is why most people really never exit losing weight. And it turns into a hamster wheel. You're going round and round and round and round and round and round, and you're making no progress. In 12 months, you probably lose and recycle the same 5 to 10 kilograms. The weight goes down, the weight goes up. Next year, the weight goes down, the weight goes up. Next year, +1. The weight goes down, the weight comes up. Next year, +1. Like most people that I talk to, and that is thousands of women, are on the hamster wheel, losing and regaining, recycling the same weight over and over and over and over. Because they enter into a fat loss phase, they lose some weight, they maybe even get close to the goal weight and tone up, and then the weight slowly comes back on. And they do it again and again and again. Not a fun place to be in. But how do you know this is you? You probably, look, I don't even have to fucking identify it. You know if it's you. You've done this. You've probably done tons of diets, tons of challenges. You're bouncing around from different fitness, F45 to BodyFit to working out at home, YouTube videos. You're doing apps. You're going from this to that to that to this. It's not a good place to be in. And what tends to happen is people don't get the skills or get the knowledge of how to exit a fat loss and a toning phase. The only way you are going to do it successfully is through coaching. You acquire the skills, you get the knowledge, and you solve the problem. Now, I'm not the only person on this green earth that knows how to run someone through a maintenance phase. I'm sure there are plenty of coaches out there. So this is why it is so important to not just find a diet or a fat loss program or a weight loss program, or go get fucking weight loss drugs and medications. Even getting a fucking surgery doesn't make any sense in the long term. Let's talk about weight loss surgery for a second. Even cosmetic surgery to remove body fat. You go in, you get put to sleep, and you wake up a matter of hours later. The only change that you have had is a physical change. You haven't learnt anything. You haven't changed any of your habits. You have the same poor mindset. You just have less fat, or you have a smaller stomach. Now, if you've already done this, so fucking be it. You've already done it. It is what it is. Now you've got to learn these skills. And this is why a lot of weight loss surgeries fail. This is why plenty of our clients have had weight loss surgeries, then they come to us and we have to fix the problems. Is because they fundamentally missed out on the main piece of the journey, skills and knowledge. That's it. They had a physical change, they didn't learn anything, they didn't have a mindset change, they didn't change any habits, they were physically hindered. And it wasn't even up to them. Like if your stomach is physically smaller, you just physically can't eat as much food. So there was nothing that actually went into changing that person except for a physical change. Like you can't change someone's complete mindset in 24 hours. Like unless you go on to Tony Robbins, he's probably the only person that can do it. That's it. So that means we have to fundamentally learn the skills of how to lose weight and then tone up and then how to keep the weight off. So maintenance, bit of a sidebar there. Coming back to maintenance. So what is maintenance? Do you just stop working out? Do you stop dieting and the weight stays off forever? No, not at all. Maintenance is a place at which the amount of food that you eat and the amount of calories that you burn are the same, roughly the same. A net zero across the week. Could be up, could be down some days, bit of a deficit, bit of a surplus, but on average, it stays the same. So this is why 99 times out of 100, when you are losing weight, you are going to eat more food in the maintenance phase at your lightest compared to at your heaviest. Because let's say you're 80 kilograms and you want to drop 10. Well, to drop 10 kilograms, we'd need to be in a calorie deficit. So let's say you're eating 1,400 calories and you're burning 2,400. That's a minus 1,000 calorie deficit. We're going to lose weight. Now, so you're eating like at 80 kilos, you're eating 1,400. Let's say you get down to 60, you lose the 10. Maintenance phase, you don't just keep eating the same calories. That's not how it works. The exercise component, you probably keep exercising, keep doing your walking, keep the sleep routine in. But at maintenance, let's say you're 80, you're down to 70, and that's the goal. Let's say you're nice and tall. You would need to eat as many calories as you burn. So let's say you're burning 2,400 calories, you need to eat 2,400 calories. And most people think that's batshit crazy. Like, what the fuck? How do I eat more food at my lightest? Well, it's very simple because it's science. It's not what I think. It's not what might happen. This is what we've done with hundreds, if not thousands of our clients. This is why the ladies we work with are crushing it because they have coaches who actually understand what they're doing to get the results they want to get. So maintenance. At maintenance, you're going to be your lightest, eating more food than you were when you're losing weight. Because science tells us if you're in a calorie deficit, you're losing weight. If you're in a calorie surplus, you're gaining weight. If you're at calorie maintenance, nothing's happening to your weight. You technically should be staying the same. And if you're not staying the same, then you've made a mistake and you're either eating too little or you're eating too much. There are no if or buts about it. It's very simple. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. What do? How do you increase the calories? Now, you don't just go from 1,400 to 2,400. That would be insane. This is why you get a coach. The coach's job is to identify what you need to do once you've hit your goal weight. So if someone's working with us, they're not just here to lose the weight. They're here to shape up, tone up, and learn the skills of how to keep the weight off. That is what people are paying for. That's why they come to us, because we have knowledge for women over the age of 40 up to 65 to get them in the position so they can stay at that weight. Like, how nice would that be? Like, just think for a second, how fucking great would that be if you didn't have to stress about your weight anymore? How good would that be? You're not stressing about your clothes, how they feel, what you're going to wear today, what you're going to eat today. Is this good? Is this bad? Is this going to lead to weight gain? Do I have to diet? Do I have to stop socializing? Oh, it frees up a lot of mind space for a lot of people. I get to interview all of our clients that crushed it, and they say the same things. It's just, it was easier than they thought it was going to be. It's much simpler, and it's just, they're so happy to have the skills that's going to last them the rest of their life. Everyone says, like, holy shit, why wasn't this taught in school? I don't know. I don't know the answers to that stuff. But the main thing is they're learning it now. And if you're one of these people that loses weight, puts it back on, recycles the same 5, 10, 15, 20 kilograms year after year after year, maybe it's time to change. Maybe it's time to reach out, get some coaching. Because I would be absolutely frustrated and sick of the process by now. Like, if you've tried to lose weight more than 5 times, it takes a toll emotionally. Getting started to do the next thing. What if it doesn't work? What if it does work? What if it doesn't fit my lifestyle? So there's a lot of apprehension to getting started the next time. It'd be like quitting smoking. You've quit 5, 10 times. You're like, oh, I'm just going to relapse again. Like, you're training in bad habits. Like, you're training in a poor mindset, one of failure, of inconsistency. You don't even trust yourself to follow through with it. Imagine trying to quit smoking 20 times. You'd just be like, I'm just fucking gutless. I cannot commit to it. I can't stick to it. You'd feel like a piece of shit, honestly. But 9 times out of 10, people are doing it by themselves and not having any sort of help. Same thing with weight loss. If you keep failing at it, doing it by yourself, you are the constant, my friend. You are at the center of all the failures. And that's not to be a dick. I'm saying that to bring some awareness to, it's not all the diets you're doing. It's not all the gyms. It's not all the challenges. Like, yes, you're probably doing some things that you're not meant to do and that are probably geared towards men or women in their 20s or 30s. That's going to work against you. But the center of all of it is you. So that means if you're doing it by yourself, you're probably part of the failing formula. Get some help. Like it's an extreme example, but fucking drug addicts go to rehab, or they get external help from doctors or psychologists, therapists, counselors, people to help guide them. They get help. They don't just they created the problem and they need someone to help them out of the problem. The saying is the knowledge that got you into the problem cannot be the knowledge that gets you out of the problem. If you are the problem, you need to go external. If you have failed at this more than 5 times, you need to go external. It's not a bad thing. You don't know what you don't know. It'd honestly be like me trying to become a good guitar player, and I just do it by myself, and I have a textbook. How slow would that progress be compared to if I had a guitar teacher, someone who actually understood how to do it, the path of least resistance, the quickest path? So the version of me doing it by myself versus with a teacher, very different results. With the teacher, I go fast, I spend money. By myself, I don't spend any money, I go very slow. May never ever get out of the beginner phase. I would much rather spend the money, get the skills, save my time, and crush it and feel good in the process than continually trial and error, fail after failure after failure. Not a fun place to be in. So if you're sick of that, reach out. Maybe it's time for coaching. Jump on Instagram, Josh Humphris, or at BlissBodyU. You'll see the ads, you'll see the profile, send us a message. Hey, been listening to the podcast, would love some help. Would like to find out more about the VIP transformation program. You guys do. I'd love to have a conversation. Nice and easy. All right, ladies, if you feel like you know someone who needs this podcast episode, share it with them. Share the love. Don't be selfish. Pass on the good news. Get it out there. The more people we help, the more people, are just going to be having a good time. Our body affects how we feel. How we look affects how we feel. If we fix how we look, we generally feel a lot better. And that solves those problems. Nice and easy. All right, go kick some goals. Hope you learned a lot, and I'll catch you in the next one.